I'm really excited about sharing the Crystal Kingdom with all of you guys. And I'm really going to go in depth here. And it's going to seem like it's some far out there knowledge. It's going to seem a little maybe too deep for you to understand. But when I explain all of this, I'm going to correlate it and explain it in a way that makes it as simple as it's meant to be to understand. And it's really all simple when it comes down to it. And I'm just going to guide us through this. And we're going to start with going through the energetic and metaphysical side of crystals. Um, you know, where they are when it comes to the universe and their purpose. And then we'll hop into the reasons why they've been used throughout history and the different ways they do what they do according to their energy, their color, their vibration, things of that nature. And then I'll dive us into how to heal our 7 chakras with the crystals and correlate them with colors, frequency, and even musical notes as well. So right here, we're looking at the sacred text of the Kabbalion, or the Hermetic principles. And what these are just teachings and principles that make up the universe. And they are actually the foundations and the core root of what we call science and philosophy and all these other things. This is where it all stems from. This deals with the universal principles and the laws of the universe that you typically hear about every so often in your life, such as polarity, vibration, cause and effect, stuff like that. So the great mental plane, here in the Kabbalion, we're talking about planes of existence, the law of correspondence, saying that there's corresponding dimensions parallel to each other. And they're all different planes of existence. So right here, we're going into the great mental plane. The great mental plane comprises those forms of living things known to us in ordinary life, as well as certain other forms not so well known except to the occultists. Now, when it says well known except the occultists, it's saying that these are the founding principles of life and the universe that everybody that looks deep into life to find answers studies. And this is all just the nature of life that we're studying. The classification of the 7 minor mental planes is more or less satisfactory and arbitrary, but we may as well mention them. They are as follows. Number 1, the plane of mineral mind. Number 2, the plane of elemental mind. Number 3, the plane of plant mind. Number 4, the plane of elemental mind. Number 5, the plane of animal mind. Number 6, the plane of elemental mind C. And number 7, the plane of human mind. So when we're talking about the plane of minds, we're talking about the plane of existence where when you mentally are connecting or interacting or thinking about one of these type of makeups here, you are connecting mentally to that mental plane through the interactions and experiences, such as, for example, let's say the animal mind. You're connecting to the plane of the animal mind when you're laying in your bed and your dog is right there in your arms and you guys are exchanging energy. That right there, you're connecting your plane of the human mind with that plane of your dog's mind. We have different planes that we're experiencing according to our being and archetype. And then within each one of those planes, there's going to be sub layers as well because of the individual. Now, when you understand that there's different planes mentally that we're traveling through and experiencing, that brings you to that multidimensionalness of who we are. So when we're connecting with the crystal kingdom, crystals are part of, if you had to guess, which one? Probably think like the elemental, right? So it's actually going to be the mineral mind because it comes from the mineral kingdom. So if we scroll down a little bit here, just real quick, I'm going to read this paragraph right here about the mineral kingdom or the mineral mind, just so we can get familiar with this aspect and this side of the crystal kingdom before we get into the physical. Kind of just allowing us to guide and flow through the different layers of the whole entire crystal kingdom as a being. So the plane of the mineral mind comprises the states or conditions of the units or entities or groups and combinations of the same, which animate the forms known to us as minerals, chemicals, etc. These entities must not be confounded with the molecules, atoms, and corpuscles themselves. My bad. The latter being merely the material bodies or forms of these entities, just as a man's body is but the material form and not himself. These entities may be called souls in one sense, and are living beings of a low degree of development, life, and mind, just a little more than units of living energy, which comprise the high subdivisions of the highest physical plane. The average mind does not generally attribute the possession of mind, soul, or life to the mineral kingdom, but all occultists recognize the existence of the same. And modern science is rapidly moving forward to the point of the view of the Hermetic in this respect. The molecules, atoms, and corpuscles have their loves and hates, likes and dislikes, attractions and repulsions, affinities and non-affinities, etc. And some of the most daring of modern scientists' minds have expressed the opinion that the desire and will, emotions, and feelings of the atoms differ only in degree from those of men. We have no time or space to argue this matter here. All occultists know it to be a fact, and others have referred to some of the more recent scientific studies for outside corroboration. There are the usual 7 subdivisions to this plane. So yeah, that right there just basically sums it up. That gives you the vision and the information to grasp upon where the energy stems from and what we're connecting to when it comes to the crystals. So I know a lot of us, we've picked up crystals or just have a deep connection with a certain crystal, and we just don't know why. And that's why I'm here. That's why I wanted to create this, was to give you guys a more in-depth reason behind crystals, so you can expand your awareness to why you are attracted to a certain crystal, or why you have one certain crystal in your life that was given to you and means the most to you. Yeah, there's a lot of valuable information and truth behind these crystals that are here for us to live a healthy and better life. And if you guys have any deeper questions about any of these topics, feel free to contact me through my Sacred Light 33 Instagram page. And I will gladly answer any questions that I can. Or if not, share a little bit of information that you have with me. So right here, we're gonna go ahead and navigate over into a little bit about the origin and the ancient usage and history and civilizations of crystals. And I'll have the links for these websites down below in the description as well on the YouTube channel. So the origin of the property of crystals. So when it comes to color, the color meaning of the crystal or stone. So I'm reading off of this. This isn't my quote. As I always say, color is vibration. The colors of crystals relate to their energy. And these colors play a big part in why people are drawn to certain stones. Different colors have different meanings. These meanings may relate to the elements, planets, and astrology, or the chakras too. So yes, you can connect astrology with all the things I mentioned earlier with the colors, the chakra, frequencies, and music notes as well. And I really like this quote right here. Understanding the chakra association is an excellent guide to the metaphysical properties of crystals. It goes hand in hand, really, because if you could understand how to connect the stones and crystals to heal your chakras, it is very fast moving healing. And it starts on a metaphysical level and then translates to physical. And you're really going more holistic and more at the root cause of what's in your field. But we'll dive into that another time. We got to start with the basics first, just to get into the introduction. So the chakras relate to different areas of our life, mind, and part of the physical body. Crystals bring these qualities into balance or help restore weakness or weak energies in the chakras and the aura. When crystals have a combination of colors, this also indicates the additional energies and chakras. The practice of color therapy also helps us understand the meaning of the different colors. So color therapy, it's not anything too fancy really when you think about it. Color therapy is just using your conscious awareness to connect with the colors of stones that you're using, the food that you're eating, what you're wearing, the lights that you are sitting in. You can do color light therapy where you're laying down. The practitioner has different colored lights rays over you, and then doing a healing session with that. Yeah, there is all sorts of stuff out there. I'm excited to share all this stuff with you guys. So okay, energy and intuition. Maybe you don't feel the energy of crystals, but some people do. Since before recorded history, people who are sensitive to energy, perhaps those who are considered shamans, healers, or wise people in their community, would have sensed the energies of different stones. Once you can sense the energy of a crystal, it is not something that you can ignore. Energy does not lie. And I will tell you what, energy does not lie. And I know all of you guys know that in other ways. When you connect with the energy of a crystal, you can get intuitive messages or what it helps with. I think if we ignored this part of crystal healing, we'd be missing a lot of information. And it would be contradictory to a lot of spiritual experiences so many people have had with crystals. So yeah, you can find gemstones everywhere between mines, mountains, lakes, deserts, islands, and really anywhere. And it depends on where you go. There'll be different type of minerals and elements that you'll find. Okay, so physical uses and effects. This is where we're getting into the healing side of things and how these crystals are utilized in healing practices and self-healing. Despite what you may hear online in the past, just like today, most mining is not really pretty crystals. Uh, Minerals like ores and metals are used for different civilizations for making things. The ancients noticed how certain stones reacted to water or poisons, created color paint, changed color, or were needed to make metals for tools. Hematite is rich in iron and is still used to make this metal. Iron was used to make swords, armor, and shields. Its physical properties are that strong and reflective. I don't think it is a coincidence that it's one of the best crystals for psychic protection. So hematite is a good grounding and protection stone. All right, so now over here, we're going to dive into how it's been used in some civilizations, along with other people with profound uh, creations and brilliant minds of our history, Nikola Tesla. All right, so today we understand that all things in the universe are forms of energy with their own frequency and vibration, including crystals. So Nikola Tesla declared this concept as the key to understanding the universe and proved how certain forms of energy can alter the vibrational resonance of other forms of energy. This concept is why healing crystals and stones are still used today to align, heal, and alter the vibration of bodily cells, chakras, and the subtle bodies by holistic healers. The ancients didn't have access to the enlightening scientific information that we have today concerning the power of healing crystals. However, people around the world seem to instinctively be drawn to these lovely gems and have a deeper understanding of the value and meaning in the greater scheme of the universe. Popular uses for healing crystals in early civilizations, such as ancient Egypt, uh, minerals, gems, and crystals have been used for millennia to enhance emotional, physical, and spiritual balance. How the ancients knew, we may never know for sure, but these cultures certainly consider stones a major aspect of their existence. So in Egypt, one of the biggest historical proponents of healing crystals, the Egyptians buried their dead with quartz upon the forehead. This was believed to help guide the departed safely into the afterlife. Pharaohs toted cylinders filled with quartz to balance the Ba and Ka energies of the body. Strongly associated with the sky goddess Isis, crushed lapis lazuli was most notably worn by the ladies of royalty like Cleopatra upon the eyes to promote enlightenment and awareness. Dancers donned rubies in their navels to foster their sex appeal. Many wore crystals over the heart to attract love and placed crystal Latin crowns upon their head to stimulate, enlighten, and awaken the third eye. And that last part right there, the third eye, you see that with the Egyptian crowns and hats that they would wear, or headdresses. They would have a gem on the third eye. In Roman culture, talismans and amulets of crystals were typical amongst Romans, and they were considered useful in enhancing health, attracting desirable things, and providing protection in battle. Chinese culture and Chinese traditional medicine, they would commonly use crystal tip needles in acupuncture. In India, Ayurvedic medicine, they consider crystals valuable for healing emotional and metaphysical imbalances. The uses of various healing crystals is documented within the pages of the Hindu Vedas, which also references each stone's specific healing abilities. Sapphires are sought to bring astuteness, clarity, and mental balance. And jasper is thought to bring harmony, sexual vitality, and balance, base chakras. So what we know about healing crystals. Concepts of electromagnetism, as proven by James Clerk Maxwell, and their independent nature, along with the various breakthroughs in quantum theory, have given us scientific evidence for what the ancients always knew, because everything vibrates at certain frequencies. They have the ability to shift and alter the frequencies of other objects of bodies when they occupy the same space. Hence, a crystal, which vibrates at its own frequency, vibrates within our energy field through the physical law of resonance and creates a larger vibrational field, affecting the nervous system and transmitting the information to the brain. In essence, these connecting vibrations can harmonize frequencies and stimulate biochemical shifts that affect physical health in a positive, healing way. And this is on quantumstones.com. And this is copyright in 2014 and distributed by the author Stephanie Lucas and quantumstones.com. And I will definitely be posting that link as well in the description below. So yeah, gemstones have also been used in the pyramids, like quartz to amplify, copper with quartz to amplify and bring balance. Yeah, it's wonderful. Wonderful stuff, man. I'm really happy that you guys are opening up and taking some time to become more aware and potentially do something that could shift your life into something more healthy. So right here, I just wanted to go over the 7 chakras real quick, because I know that they were mentioned earlier with crystals and, healing our chakras with crystals. And I'm going to tie this together also very nice and smoothly with color, frequency, and the musical note as well, as they all tie together in harmony. Harmony. So just to briefly touch on the chakras. We do 1 through 7 just for now. And starting at the bottom, the base is where we'll do number 1. Some people start at the top of the crown, but we're going to start at the base for number 1. That's going to be the root chakra. And the color of the frequency that represents this is red. And this ties to survival, stability, trust in self, and finances. It also has to do when your head's in the clouds and you're just racing in thoughts. You can't ground yourself. That's what grounding is. When you ground, you're opening up your root chakra. That's how you ground. You're grounding all that energy down to the root. So then, number 2, we got the sacral, which is orange. And this is your sensuality and sexual energy. Sensuality is basically your senses, your sensing of life. You know, being able to feel that euphoric bliss of how grateful I am to be alive in this moment, and how big of a blessing it is to even exist. And look at all these abundances around me and creations that we've created. Man, it's just all so beautiful. And this conversation I had earlier is really made my day, you know, makes me so happy. That right there is your sensuality with life. Um, so when we get into number 3, which is the solar plexus, which is going to be the color yellow, this is going to be your self-esteem, your self-empowerment, your determination, just really feeling confident in yourself, feeling determined to be alive, and that you have a purpose, and that, you know, you can get things done and you can work on your goals. So then we go up to the heart chakra, which is number 4, and that's going to be green. And this represents love, oneness, unconditional love, that is, and connection with all, as well as empathy, balance, and self-compassion. And then we got number 5, which is going to be the throat chakra, which is blue. And this is going to be communication of truth, self-expression, and creative flow. And then we got the third eye at 6, which is going to be indigo. And this is going to be your intuition, manifestation, your sense of spiritual guidance, and your ability to see through the physical dimension, and your psychic abilities. Number 7, the crown's gonna be at the top, and that's gonna be violet or white. And that is your connection with divine source light. That is your connection with your guides and angels, and your ability to alchemize and draw in recharging light. So those are the 7 chakras. Briefly touch upon those, the colors that coordinate with them. And then if we go over here to this chart, boom. Okay. Got the Earth star and Soul star as well added on to this chart. The Earth star is below the base, actually around the soles of the feet, right in between there. And that anchors us to Mother Earth. And that one's usually it says infrared, but when we do meditations, we typically think of like a dark brown or black. And then the Soul star, that is UV light ray, and that is above the crown. And that usually connects us with like the Akashic timelines, to the shamanic realms. Yeah. So if you look here, we got the base, the root, you know, the musical note for that one is G. And then as you see, it goes through every other one, every other chakra with the music note and the hertz frequency that resonates with it. And then you can see through the octave, 42 octaves, it then translates into those colors. And those are the colors of the rainbow spectrum. And then all of that translates to this right here with the chakras. And these different energy centers comprise of different characteristics of energy that make up our human experience. So then when we get into the gemstones and healing our chakras with the gemstones right here, and you can research this on Google just by typing in, you know, crystals for chakras, or you can even be so specific to where you're like, man, I'm really having really bad inflammation and like really bad tendon issues. I want to work with a crystal that helps with physical healing and rejuvenation, vitality. So what you can do is just go on Google, type in, yeah, I'll do it with you right now. You just type in crystal for inflammation. Oh, no, spell. There we go. Crystals for inflammation. So you'll come up with a lot of options. Right here, perfect. Number one, crystals for inflammation, list of best stones. All right, golden pyrite, which is also called fool's gold. Okay, so yeah. So yeah, here it's talking about how whenever you're interacting with the stone, whether you're carrying it on you or holding it, it its energy, depending on which stone you're using, it will reduce the inflammation. And the frequency of the stone is so grounding that it pulls out the energy behind the inflammation. So here it talks about wearing them pendant wise, bracelets, rings. Then down here they have stones that you can use. Lapis lazuli gives you the reason behind it, the metaphysical properties. They have a whole entire list of stones you can use. And then they give you each one, and you can actually click on them to get the description. So yeah, use your research and use the internet to go deeper into this stuff, and really experiment and experience for your own on how you can use these crystals to help yourself heal, and not just heal, but just have a more amplified experience of everyday life. You could just wear something because you want to be more uplifted and have a good time, or you could be wearing something to help you work on a project or to help with doing shadow work. or to help you connect and draw in a healthy love relationship. There's all sorts of reasons out there why we can use crystals, and it's almost boundless and infinite when it really comes down to it. There's just so many crystals out there. Um, but I guess that's really it for now. I think I feel like I really gave you guys a really deep chunk of good information to get us started and get those wheels going on what crystals really are, why they're here, how we use them, and why we can apply them to our everyday life for potentially a more holistic, healthy, and vibrant life, not just for ourselves, but for our children. To know children love crystals as well, for our animals and pets, for family members and friends, and so on and so forth. Um, and there's no reason not to try to introduce crystals into our lives. What do we lose by spending a couple dollars? Because you can literally go down to a crystal shop or order them online, and you can get crystals for $2 each. It's not very expensive. I mean, there's expensive ones out there, but they're very, very rare, profound energies. Um, but yeah, if you guys have any questions about crystals and would love to connect and talk about the Crystal Kingdom with me, feel free to ask me any questions on Sacred Light 33. And my name is Christolight. Thank you guys for tuning in. I really appreciate all of you guys, and I hope this was really helpful. I definitely trust in my heart that it was. Hey, Grande, what's going on? First of all, I want to say thank you for purchasing this recording and tapping into my first ever Crystal Healing 101 class. So after this class, I wanted to compliment us with a practice. And the practice I want to compliment us with is going to be a very simple practice, very basic to start out. And the whole intention of this practice is to get you used to feeling just a straight connection between yourself, your energy, and the connection of the crystals electromagnetically with your energy. So with that being said, the practice I invite you to try to go with this lesson is, if you have enough crystals for all 7 chakras, go ahead and grab 7 crystals and place 1 on each of the 7 chakras. So the root, the sacral, solar plexus, heart, the throat, the third eye, and then the crown. And then lay down for this practice with the crystals on your chakras, and then start focusing on your breath. And just continue to focus on your breath for about at least 10 to 15 minutes. And then this 10 to 15 minutes is supposed to be, according to universal principle, the amount of time it takes for the electromagnetic energy field of the crystal to start having a shift or a manipulation of your energy field and where it's placed with the chakra. So this is to get you in tune with that feeling and the sensation of feeling the metaphysics and the energy. And then after that, we'll be doing other practices as we continue along in the other classes that will be more deeper and more intentional, and I will be guiding and doing other things as well with it. But for now, go ahead and enjoy the frequency that I went ahead and laid out for you guys to utilize while you focus on breathing, going into a meditative state, and just consciously feeling the raw connection of the crystals on your chakras while you're laying down. And also just a reminder to have your legs straight and not crossed, so you're not blocking the energy circulating through your feet. And just make sure you're relaxing your shoulders and enjoying this space. Thank you guys for tapping in. And once again, I appreciate the support and you purchasing this recording. And I look forward to the rest of them. The second class will be on 11/11, which is on Saturday. And if you would like to purchase that recording or attend that live class, just let me know, direct message me, and we'll get things rolling. Thank you guys. I wish you a beautiful day. Wholeness and balance love.
Oh.